So I'm back with some homework answers for section 9.5 on percent composition from page 240, numbers 15 through 18. Now, after you have your notes copied down and you have these problems done and any mistakes fixed if you had them, you can submit this homework to me by taking a picture of it and scanning it and sending it to me via email or text. So here is 15. You've had plenty of time to look at that. Here is the answer to 16. Pause your video if you need to. 17. And 18. Now, if I run out of time, I may have to put this in two parts of the video, but you've seen all of the answers. If you need the explanation, then keep watching. So for problem 15, it says, iron 2 sulfate is a therapeutic agent for iron deficiency anemia. It is administered orally as iron 2 sulfate heptahydrate. If 0.300 grams of iron 2 sulfate heptahydrate contains 0.0603 grams of iron, 0.0346 grams of sulfur, and 0.190 grams of oxygen, and 0.0151 grams of hydrogen, what is the percent composition of iron 2 sulfate heptahydrate? So the first important thing is we have a mass of 0.30 grams of iron 2 sulfate heptahydrate. And remember, for these problems, we're just going to be using part over the whole times 100%. So for iron, they give me the mass of the iron in the problem as 0.0603 grams of iron. I put that over the mass of the whole compound. Multiply that by 100, and I get 20.1% iron. For sulfur, the mass given for the sulfur is 0.0346 grams of sulfur. I put that over the mass for the whole compound. Multiply by 100, and I get 11.5% sulfur. For oxygen, it's 0.190 grams of oxygen. I put that over the mass for the whole thing. Multiply by 100, and I get 63.3% oxygen. And for hydrogen, 0.151 grams of hydrogen over the mass of the whole compound. Multiply by 100, and it's 5.03% hydrogen. So that is how to do problem 15. For problem 16, the problem reads, what mass of vitamin E contains 0.500 grams of carbon given that vitamin E is 80.8% carbon by mass? Well, we know that we have 0.05 grams of the carbon. What we want to know is the mass of the whole vitamin E. So that goes on the bottom because this is the part over the whole. Equals, now, the percent of carbon is 80.8%, so that goes on the bottom. The whole is always 100%. So now we just have a proportion to solve. So we cross multiply, get 80.8x equals 0.500 times 100. So 80.8x is 50. Divide both sides by 80.8. And x is 0.619 grams of vitamin E. Sorry, I didn't move that page up. For problem 17. The problem reads, Epsom salts that are used as a laxative consist of magnesium sulfate heptahydrate. How many grams of magnesium are present in 0.0250 moles of magnesium sulfate heptahydrate, which is 9.86% magnesium? So the first thing we have to do is we have to convert moles to grams. So I have 0.250 moles of magnesium sulfate heptahydrate times 1 mole of magnesium sulfate heptahydrate. But, I need to know the molar mass. So we'll go down here and we'll figure out the molar mass. Now the molar mass, first we need magnesium. I have 1 magnesium, so it's 1 times 24.31 grams per mole. Now remember, this comes from my periodic table, my mass. Okay, it's my atomic mass, but I'm writing it as grams instead of atomic mass units. So I get 24.31 grams per mole for my magnesium. For sulfur, I have 1 sulfur. So it's 1 times 32.01 grams per mole, which is 32.07 grams per mole. Oh, is that a, yeah, it's a 7, sorry, 7. Oxygen. Now the oxygens, I have 4 here, but I have 7 here, so that's a total of 11. So it's 11 times 16.00 grams per mole. Remember, I'm just using 4 significant digits. So it's 176.0 grams per mole. And for hydrogen, 7 times 2 is 14. 1.008 grams per mole is 14.11 grams per mole. When I add those all up, I get 246.5 grams per mole for the whole thing. So I go back up here and I write 246.5 grams of magnesium sulfate heptahydrate. This cancels, this cancels. When I do the multiplication, I get 6.16 grams of magnesium sulfate heptahydrate. So now we have to do one of those proportions. So I go down here, and I was told that 9.86% is magnesium. So my 9.86 goes over 100. I'm looking for the mass of the magnesium, so that's X because it's the part. I know my whole from up here, 6.16, and then I cross multiply. So 100X equals 9.86 times 6.16. 100X equals 60.7376. Divide both sides by 100, and I get that X equals 0.607 grams of magnesium. Going with my 3 significant figures, because I have 3 significant figures there and there. I'm going to do the last problem on a separate video.